courtship or dating is a foundation of your marriage. And for you to get a successful marriage, your dating and courting must be a quality one. And how can this be a quality one? Is the activity that go through while you're dating. The process of your dating will determine how your marriage will look like. If you fail while dating or you do not have it, there's tendency that the marriage may either fail, or better still, you have to struggle throughout the marriage, or you have to struggle for a long years before you get into it. Many of us fall into this category, but congratulations to you if you are not married yet, because we know what to talk about while dating. We have a lot of it, but there's a particular one that people do not talk about often. We do not take it serious. We gist about it, but we don't handle it serious, and this is past trauma. Past trauma is something that can cause your marriage a lot of pain, can give both parties pain. However, when I mention trauma, it's all encompasses, it's full package. We have different types of trauma. It could be physical, emotional, sexual trauma, and this could include raping, or better still, if you constantly witness physical abuse, maybe from your parents or people or your guardian where you grow up. And it could be that this is what happened in your community. Maybe you grew up in a very violent community, and maybe you grew up with somebody that smokes substances, that have unstable mental issues. We have a lot of them. We have a lot of this. Maybe when you are growing, you constantly face rejection, discrimination. This could result into a traumatic situation for you. When you remember, you get depressed, you feel down. Now, let me tell you the bitter truth. Most, if not all people are involved in this. It's few of us, especially in the African community, that escape this trauma. We have many that quickly heal. Maybe as a result of a caring parent, you realize that you don't longer feel such pain. But then, this set of people, I would want to address you. For the parents, I have a message for you. The message is the situation you put in your child will determine the quality of life your child will live, which include the marital part. So, dear parents, I'm imploring you to please care for your child. Do not reject them. Do not show that they are not wanted. Show them love and affection, so that when they grow up, they will not go and cause damage on another person's child due to the past trauma you have allowed them to experience. Then for the single ones dating or looking for a marriage mate, please talk about it. Talk about these issues, your past trauma. Do not gist and pass. Discuss it. How does it affect you? How will it affect you in marriage? For example, let me mention a young lady that grew up with a single mother. This young lady may be very good, kind, but she may not have first-hand lesson or first-hand education about how to tolerate a man, because she did not grow up seeing this. So now let me give you some categories of people that should think about it deeply and ask themselves the kind of trauma that may be affecting them. Assess yourself. One group is that person, if you are a young child that grew up in a full-grown family, like a complete family with father and mother, but they constantly abuse themselves. It could be verbal abuse or physical abuse, that is eating themselves. This, you may grow up with a mindset of that is how marriage is designed to be. This could affect you in a way that you may not even want a marriage. And when you want marriage, you're already defensive. Then, are you the one that grew up in a single home? It could be voluntary or not voluntary. Single home include widowed, baby mamas and baby papas. Assess yourself. Can you actually perform well according to your gender in marriage? Do you understand your responsibility in marriage? This past trauma could cause this. Please do well to assess yourself. Are you that person that grew up struggling alone? Maybe you lost your parents when you were very young. This could be a challenge for you to be able to meet up to your responsibility, to be able to understand how your responsibility works out as a husband or as a wife. Unfortunately, most past trauma victims, they do not have control over it. Imagine a child growing, you do not have control over what happened around him. However, you should have control over your marriage, and this is why this video is important for you. Do not scroll, follow it and look at how you can take this and use it to assess your marriage, or better, to assess yourself. The first thing you have to do is that you have to check yourself very well where you are lacking. Can you talk about wifely duties and understand what you are talking about? Do you even know how man should treat you? This will determine on how you are treating yourself, because maybe you grew up in a place that your mother is the only person that fends for the family, while your father sits and doing nothing. You feel that is a normal way of life. This could affect the way you deal with your husband. At the same time, are you a young man that is full of headship duties but do not even know how to go about it? Why? Because you do not see someone that could set example or pass the baton to you. Meanwhile, we do not even learn this in school. There is no any training that talks about husband training or wife training. You see why you need to talk about it. Past trauma. Please, if you are dating now, today is a Monday morning. Go indoor, assess yourself. Check your temperament. Check why you are treating people in a bitter way, or maybe why you just allow yourself to be used by others. Why? Ask yourself the question, why? Because if you do know why, you will understand how to fix yourself. So the first thing you do, if you have this past trauma, or you are in the category of people that I mentioned earlier, please check well who you are. That's the first step you do. Check who you are. Even if you grow up in a place that is full of poverty, poverty can cause past trauma. So please check well who you are. Why do you do what you do? Then you can accept another person into your life. Then number 2 is that assess the situation where you grow up. Assess it. How normal is it? How do your father treat your mother? Is it only with your mother you grow, or only with your father? Check well. Know one thing, you can be a very good businessman but not a good husband. You can be a very good businesswoman, a career lady, successful one at that, but not a good wife. And this marriage could determine your happiness if you are into it. Yes, marriage could determine your happiness if you are in a marriage. Singleness is okay, but if you are in marriage, you need to see how you can enjoy it so you will be happy. So please assess the situation in which you grow up so that you can understand the possibility of the trauma that you may be experiencing unknowingly. Then the third thing I want you to do is discuss it with that person you are dating, or discuss it with your husband, discuss it with your wife. Both of you should discuss it, because I can tell you that most people are going through these things. They pass through one trauma or the other. So if you are the one that you escape all this, grow up in a very loving environment, and you marry to a very loving person, congratulations to you. But if you have to assess yourself and see that you have some past trauma you abandon not dealing with, please ask yourself question. And when you discuss it, you see the tendency of how you can heal. There are some certain steps you have to take to heal from your past trauma, or basically to become a carrier, which means you will not allow it to affect your marriage. We don't talk about it. Past trauma. If you have listened to this video to this point, that means there's something that taught you. Do well to follow us. Share this video, and please comment. This will encourage us to do more meaningful video that can affect the way you happy in marriage. Your support means a lot to us. So therefore, I will want you to assess yourself in these past trauma challenges, and I can bet you it's something that's worth doing. And if you see that you have challenges that you don't know how to assess yourself, do well to get us into your DM. Get to our DM, then we can talk about it. It is not free, but it's very affordable. Till I meet you in my next video, I remain Good News, and this is Radiant Relations Consultancy, where we look at how you can be happy in marriage, regardless of what challenges you are facing. And you understand that when you handle a past trauma well, it will be easier for you to face the challenges in marriage, because marriage is hard work that you have to be ready for. Bye until I see you in my next video.